Hello and welcome back to Through the Cubbyhole. Today's episode is one that I haven't actually planned. I always plan all of my episodes just so that I can keep on track of what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. I have not done this this time round, so it could be a little bit chaotic. It's probably not going to be the longest, but I didn't want to not post anything at all. So I'm going to come on. I'm going to talk about sort of like updates with our wedding. I thought I'd do a bit of a wedding episode, just talk about our plans, where we're at, because we have almost, I think it's like 7 months, seven and a bit, basically. We get married in September. So yeah, I thought I'd do a little behind the scenes, behind the cubbyhole about the wedding, basically. Just also I just wanted to say, if you don't know already, I am now on YouTube and I'm posting every podcast episode over on YouTube as well. I don't personally use or watch YouTube channels, but I know that a lot of people do. And when I put it out about doing a podcast, there was actually more people that said they would watch YouTube over listening to a podcast. But I personally love podcasts and it meant more to me to do it as a podcast. But after doing it for a year, I thought, do you know what? Doesn't hurt. I'm already editing it. It's already a video. So I'm going to also post on YouTube. So I am on YouTube and I think I'm just at the underscore cubbyhole. I think it's the same as like Instagram and TikTok and all of that stuff. I don't really know. But anyway, I'm the underscore cubbyhole on YouTube. So if you do prefer watching, if you want to see my face, if you don't, I don't blame you, then I am on YouTube as well. At the moment, it's just these episodes. Whether I might start doing vlogs and things like that, I don't actually know because I'm pretty useless for someone who does this as a job now, like content and stuff. I am absolutely useless at technology and remembering to get content. So I don't know whether it will go any further on YouTube, but the episodes of the podcast will go on there regardless. So yeah, if you want to watch rather than listen, then yeah, head over to YouTube and subscribe because I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the wedding. I don't really know what to say. So we got engaged in August, not last year, the year before, I think. And we literally booked our wedding like 6, 7 weeks after we got engaged, which actually wasn't the plan. Wasn't the plan at all. I'd actually waited 10 years, almost 10 years for a proposal. So I didn't actually think I was going to be in any rush. I've always said like I'd like to be engaged for like a period of time, like I wouldn't want to rush into it. But literally 6, 7 weeks later, we booked the wedding. And it was mainly because my friends bought me this beautiful wedding planner book. And I was like, right, now I have this planner. I need to use it. It just made me so excited. I love a tick list, a checklist. I've said that so many times. And this had all little checklists and tick lists and all these bits. And I was like, right, I need to get on it. So anyway, found a venue that we wanted to take a look at. So my partner actually DJs for like weddings and events and stuff, and he's been to a lot of the venues like in Essex, which is where we live, and he just ruled so many out for so many different reasons. And I was literally trying to find one that he hadn't been to and he hadn't seen before because I just wanted him to maybe see it through like fresh eyes rather than knowing what it's like to be a DJ there or to be there when he's been at other events. So I found our venue, and our venue is called Lodge Farm Barns, and it's in Epping. And I just loved it. Like it was the first and only venue that we saw. Bearing in mind, I'd looked at a ton, and it was the first venue I saw, and I just loved it, and we both loved it. It's very much like a DIY wedding, like do it yourself. Like it's beautiful, beautiful surroundings, beautiful buildings, barns, etc. But very much like you can do what you want with the space, and that's what I really wanted. Not only in the decor side of it, but also in the catering, because I know that a lot of venues, you have to use their catering, which means they can charge you whatever they want to charge you because you can't go anywhere else. And I really, really didn't want that. I wanted to choose my own food. I don't want a traditional sit-down meal. So these things were really, really important for me to find, and we managed to find that in Lodge Farm Barns. I think it's Lodge Farm Barns, or the Barns at Lodge Farm. Either way, you'll find it. But yeah, for me, as soon as we saw it, I was like, yes, this is the place. We went on a lovely day. It was a lovely sunny day. And yeah, I just knew instantly. So I actually always wanted to get married abroad. And part of me still would love to get married abroad. But we made the decision not to, because I just felt personally like I wanted our wedding to be as accessible for everyone as possible. I knew that we would find it really hard to like whittle down our list. And obviously when you go abroad, you do have a smaller sized wedding basically. We've invited like 110 people to our wedding, and even that like took a lot of like negotiations and a lot of chats and whatever else. So I just think to have an abroad wedding and get it down to a small number would have been very, very hard for us. But also I was just thinking like our friends with like children and stuff, it makes it harder, it makes it a lot more expensive. I personally don't want children at our wedding, so then it's like going away, trying to find childcare, etc. So we decided against that. Before that, I actually wanted just to elope. Like my actual dream, in all honesty, is for me and Charlie to have just gone away, like gone to Santorini, just us, a suit, a wedding dress, got married, just us two, and had a party. Like in all honesty, like if I could have my dream wedding, that would have been it. But obviously we both didn't agree on that. And yeah, basically that's where we ended up getting married in England, not abroad, and yeah, booking the venue that we booked. So obviously this is now 2025, so I'm in my wedding year. I booked so much. So we booked it obviously 2 years in advance, thinking like I had all the time in the world. And to be fair with you, I booked like everything really quickly, paid loads of deposits. Like we booked the venue, we booked the registrar, we booked the food, we booked the dessert, we booked things, singers, DJs, a lot. We booked a lot, like the big things. And then it went to a stage of like, I've booked all the bigger things, but the smaller things, it's too early to start, but I felt like I wasn't doing anything. So like, there was just like, this weird period of time where I wasn't really doing anything, but then my health sort of declined. So really it was like I needed time just to like sort myself out. And then I said yes to the dress in July, this July just gone. And then from saying yes to the dress to now has gone so quickly, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm stressed. I know I have like 7 months to go, I know that, but I just feel like when you get to the year of your wedding, you sit down and you look at everything. You look at the whole breakdown, you look at when things have got to be paid, you look at when you've got to do certain things. Like I'm DIYing all of our decor, and I know I need to start, but it feels so overwhelming. Like I'm so overwhelmed by it, and I'm like, oh my god, like I should have started ages ago. I should have been putting money away to pay for things, and I just haven't. It's like I've been in denial, and now all of a sudden we're in 2025 and it's the year of our wedding, and we're going to make it happen. Like regardless, we're going to make it happen, but it just feels like a lot when you look at like the bigger picture. And I'm trying not to look at the bigger picture and just concentrate on like setting myself monthly jobs to tick off, because I think if I can tick off monthly jobs, then it will all work itself out, hopefully. but it's very hard to not look at the bigger picture when you've got things like payments coming up. It's all well and good, isn't it? Like booking everything, like deposit, like thinking you're on top of it. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, everything's due now. All the remaining balances are due. I'm just having one of them moments of realization, and it's a lot. But I also want to enjoy it. I'm only planning on doing this once, so I want to enjoy it. But yeah, it's just very, very overwhelming. And it's like, I know I'm only going to do it once. I want it to be as perfect as possible. But I have been told that obviously it doesn't actually matter. Like on the day, as long as you are there, everyone has a great time. You have a great time. Like we have a great time together getting married and we're happy. Then it doesn't actually matter. Like all the little things, it doesn't matter. Just trying to get a grip on my to-do list and things that I need to do and when I need to do them. But I just want to quickly go back to obviously saying yes to the dress. I feel like I'm literally talking 100 miles an hour and going backwards and forwards. So like I said, this is going to be a bit of a chaotic episode, but I'm just speaking my thoughts as they come, basically. So saying yes to the dress. So I went to the most beautiful bridal boutique in Canterbury called Amore Brides, and I just had the best day. So they had a VIP suite that we could pay a little bit extra for the day, which it was just me, my 3 friends, mother of the bride, mother of the groom, and we went, and there was like little cakes and prosecco, and it was just amazing. And I had my appointment with Amy, who is the owner, and she was just fantastic. I showed her all my inspiration pictures. She went out, I picked a few dresses, she picked a few dresses, and I basically bought the first dress I tried on. I did try on other dresses, but she had specifically got this dress in for somebody else to try on that day. So it's never in the boutique. And I tried it on, and the reaction of my friends, the mums, was so like, oh, like that's the dress. And I was like, oh my God, like I love it. Like I absolutely love it. But I was like, I can't pick the first dress I try on, like surely. So we went through, I think about probably like 12 dresses maybe. Tried on loads of dresses, the most stunning dresses. I wish I could try on bridal dresses and wedding dresses every single week of my life, because it was just the best thing ever. But yeah, I went back to the first dress, and that was the one. Like none of the other dresses that I tried on beat that first dress, and I went for the style that I thought I was going to go for. I actually, in my head, thought, I love this style. This is the style I want. I'm going to end up trying something completely different on, and then falling in love with that instead. But I actually went for what I thought I was going to go for. I did try on some dresses that were very different, but for me, it just, I obviously just knew what I wanted. So yeah, that was just the most amazing day. And I would highly, highly recommend Amore Brides if you are not even local to Canterbury, but just surrounding areas. If you can get there, it's really, really lovely. And then obviously you get to go into Canterbury before or after your appointment, and it's a really lovely city and lovely like restaurants and stuff. So that was really, really nice actually. So just to say like a little bit, I don't want to give like too much away, but I also want to talk about it. So the idea for our wedding is very like, I want it to be very whimsical, very pretty, very elegant, and then party. Me and my partner love a party. I've always had parties like all through my life, for my birthdays, like house parties, hall parties, venue parties. I love a good party, good music, a good dance. Like that is my vibe. So I want it to be very, very pretty, lovely, very like traditional looking, like on the outside, but party in the evening. We're not having the traditional sit down meal. We're having a pizza van, and we're having ice cream for after. So we've got an ice cream van coming after, and then it is just going to be a good old knees up party. I want to be running around like a crazy girl, and just enjoying it. So we are trying to make it, I want it to look traditional in a lot of ways. So I'm going to have like beautiful tables and all of that, but then pizza, because I'm a pizza girl. In fact, if I could get a McDonald's van at my wedding, I mean, I've seen it before, but I don't know how you do it. I don't know how it's done. If anyone's got any advice on how I get McDonald's to my wedding, please let me know, because it's so on brand. I can't tell you. If I got McDonald's at my wedding, there is not one guest that would be like, what is this about? Everyone would be like, yes, that's Lauren's wedding. So anyone got any ideas of how I get McDonald's to my wedding, please let me know. But yeah, I'm not going down like too traditional. Like, I'm thinking I might do a speech, because sod letting all men speak at my wedding. Basically, I want to speak, I want to say something. We're not having a cake. That has been quite a controversial decision, because I feel like it's such an old school thing to do, is to have a cake, and I feel like the older generation expect there to be a wedding cake. To me, and if you don't agree with me, it's absolutely fine. Like, I can understand that a wedding cake is beautiful. It's a traditional thing to do. For me, it's just not for me, for my wedding. I don't see the point of it. I don't like cake. I don't want to stop the party for everyone to gather round and basically watch me and Charlie cut a cake. I cut things every day of my life. I don't get a round of applause when I cut my toast in half. I don't want a round of applause for cutting a cake. So that's just not happening. As soon as it's party vibes, it's party vibes. I don't want a cake. It's a waste of money for me. And yeah, it's not my thing. If you like cakes, I am with you. You do you. They can be absolutely stunning. But I think I prefer something like a champagne tower or something like that, where people then grab a drink. Whether we're going to do that or not, I don't know, because it's just another expense, and I don't know if I can deal with another expense right now. I don't think we're going to do favours either. So I've seen a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of TikToks of people saying that favours are pointless, because you put a lot of effort into like making them, getting them ready, and then people end up just leaving them behind. And it's like, really? Like, my thought process was we were going to just do like his and hers sweets, but really, like, who wants to take sweets home? No one. So I might just put some sweets somewhere for people to eat during the party. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. To me, that's just another thing that I'm going to tick off, like, that's not happening. Don't want to be doing that. But yeah, other things that we are doing, we are having a bongo player and a sax player and a DJ. So I know a lot of people like the idea of bands, and there's a couple of bands that I have seen that I think are absolutely like next level incredible, would sing the sort of songs, like music that I like. However, small mortgage to get them, and that's just, it's not doable. But I actually prefer a DJ. This is going to sound mental to people. I do like live music, but if I could choose between live music and a DJ for a party, I would always choose a DJ, because I like originals. I'm just one of these people. I just really like original songs, original music, listening to the original singer. I don't know why. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate bands. I do, and I appreciate live singers. My mum has sung like all my life. My partner, Charlie, sings. He's brilliant. Like, I love it. But for me, I prefer a DJ. And yeah, so a DJ was always what we were going to have at the wedding. But we do have a live singer in the day, who actually, I'm not going to say who it is yet, but I will obviously share once we get married, because this is, I don't know, quite special to me. But when me and Charlie first got together, we were at like an open mic night thing that he was singing at, and this person was singing, and I said, and it was only literally probably within the first like 6 months to a year of us being together, and I said, if we last and get married one day, I want that person to sing at our wedding. So fingers crossed, this person is singing at our wedding. So it's like really special to me. So I'm not going to say who it is or what their name is right now, but I will share that obviously once we get married. But that was just something really important to me. And yeah, I feel really excited about that. I think we're going to do like a graze board in the drinks reception part of the day. We're having like a later wedding. I wanted like a twilight wedding, so I did want to get married a little bit later than we are. But for what we're paying, we just brought it sort of a few hours back. So we're going to get married about 3:30. Yeah, 3:30. And then after that, we're having obviously our drinks reception, and we're going to do a graze board because I want people, obviously people will eat before they come. And this is what's like going like mental in my head. And I actually have a question in a minute that I need to ask, and I really need people to respond in the comments. But let me just go back and then I'll go to that after. Sorry, I'm like flipping from one thing to another really quickly. Obviously people will eat in the day before they come to the wedding, but I also want to make sure people are not hungry. So we're going to do like a graze board, like a little picky graze board, and then obviously speeches after, eat the pizza, have the ice cream, party, basically. But going back to what I was just saying I needed help with, am I overthinking this as well? I don't know. We're doing the pizza van, but do we need cutlery for pizza? Because I personally don't need cutlery for pizza. I'll pick a slice up and I'll eat it, wedding dress or not. I'm eating a pizza how I would normally eat a pizza. If I was in a restaurant, I'd cut a pizza up. But if I just was getting a few slices, I would just eat the pizza in my hand. But I'm like, will people be like, where is the cutlery? Like, outraged. And I'm not even thinking, I'm thinking about like the older generation of people coming. Will they be like, why is there no cutlery? Or am I overthinking it? But to me, you don't need cutlery for pizza. Or do I just put like a little stash of like wooden cutlery on the side? Or do I just not do it because it's another bloody thing that I've got to remember to do, and just people have to suck it up, pick the pizza out of their hands like normal people do and eat the pizza? What do you think? Please help me, because I really don't know what to do with that. But yeah, I think I'm like, I know this is a mental episode, but I think I've like covered most of the things that I wanted to say. But I am like so open to like anyone who's got married before, who has any tips, any advice, any things that they did but really it didn't matter. You know, things that I might be able to just cross off my list and then think we don't actually need to worry about that. Is there anything that you wish you did that you didn't do? I just feel like I need advice because I know what I'm doing. I'm very set in what I'm doing. I know how I want things to look. I know how I want things to be. And I am a bit of a control freak. However, I'm aware I haven't done this before. So I would love some advice and some tips if anyone has any, because I need some help with that. But to be honest with you, obviously I'm stressed about the wedding part, but I've got my hen do. I've got 2 hen dos coming up. I've got one in April. I've got one in May. The one in April is a UK one with all the women that are like invited to the wedding, and it's going to be a last disco theme. And then in May, I'm going to Mykonos for 3 nights, 2 nights, 3 nights, 3 nights, don't know, 2 or 3 nights, I'm not sure, with 8 of my friends, and I cannot wait for that because Mykonos is my favourite place in the world. This will be my 4th time going, and I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to share it and show the people that haven't been, and hopefully they love it as much as me. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited. It's an exciting year. There's just a lot going on, and there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that I haven't really spoken about yet, which I will at some point. There's just a lot of things that I'm trying to process and work out the best way to share things. But I'm really ready this year to, I think it'll be better for me as well, but just to share a little bit more of like what's going on, because I think sometimes Instagram, social media can be quite surface level. And I appreciate that life isn't surface level, and I want to show a little bit more about what's going on. And I wanted to start off with something that's fairly happy. No, it is happy and it's exciting, but it's stressful. And yeah, come on and talk about my wedding. So sorry if you didn't want to hear about this. but I wanted to get an episode out there. Everyone loves a wedding. So yeah, I hope it wasn't too chaotic. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, please drop me a comment in the comments box on Spotify if you're listening, or YouTube if you're watching, or if you follow me on Instagram, drop me a DM on there if you have any tips, anything you wish you did that you didn't do, anything you did that you think actually I could have done without doing that. And do I need cutlery for the pizza van, or is that just extra and should people just get on with it? I don't know. Please let me know. But yes, thank you so much for listening. I'll be back next week with a guest episode. I have 2 really good guests lined up for the next 2 Sundays, so really excited about that. And yes, if you don't already, please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, please rate and review. If you are listening on Spotify, and if you don't already follow me on social media, I am on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm at the _cubbyhole. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week on Through the Cubbyhole.